Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Doerr, the Aloha shirt psychic. And I've got Linda G in the house. Hey, Linda.
Hi, everybody.
The queen of the YouTube psychics is here. The princess in training is next to her.
And you're my gentleman consort.
I'm sorry.
You're my gentleman consort.
There you go. I had bronchitis all week. I hear your cough. I was like, oh my God.
No, I didn't. I haven't had anything. I'm just coughing now. I must be allergic to your house.
There you go. Well, my allergies here are terrible. It was 80 degrees here yesterday in Chicago, and today
That's what you were saying, yeah.
71. That's unheard of for October in Chicago. I got on short pants, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's like a heater went on. It got down to 35 last night.
Are we ready to get started? Are you ready to get started?
Yes, getting ready to.
All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, Clarence Thomas, that he blocked Graham's testimony for the Georgia election probe.
And that was a deliberate action.
Of course it was. My guides told me that. It was done as a political move because he wanted to wait until after.
But I see, like you said, well, you can wait till the Supreme Court's. When are they meeting up again?
I don't know, but that's right. He wants to wait till the Supreme Court meets because he knows it'll be after the midterms. And he's thinking after the midterms, if the Republicans take over, the whole January 6th committee will go by the wayside.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen because I see some of that passed over to the DOJ.
Yeah, and also, by the way, this will be against Lindsey Graham.
And Lindsey Graham's going to be investigated by the Department of Justice.
Yes.
Well, there's going to be more. My guides are showing me more and more stuff coming out against Clarence Thomas. He should have recused himself because we know his wife lied to Congress and she was instrumental in doing stuff with January 6th as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've got, there's a lot of stuff that came out about her in that.
Let me see. Let me look at Lindsey Graham.
And what about Steve Bannon? A Trump-appointed judge told Steve Bannon, well, yeah, you have to do 4 months in jail, but you don't have to go to jail until after your appeal. What? I still see Bannon in jail, and I see Graham under indictment. That's what
it's not going to work for them, but go ahead. Let's I'm going to look at Lindsey Graham. He's all happy about this, by the way.
Well, because he's thinking that they can take back over.
No, they're not going to take over. Here's his outcome.
Oh, good.
He's back to the war zone.
It's hard for me to fathom. Like, people in Florida are liking to Satan, and I'm like, wait a minute here. He's anti-abortion, he's anti-gay. But what they're saying is the people don't vote so much on the social issues, they vote on the economic ones, as their freedoms fly right out the window.
Right.
And the Dems should really stand up and say, okay, we're focusing on social issues, but also economic issues.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We just have to wait till November 8th. I kept seeing ants.
I'm sorry.
And I also got it. I keep seeing ants. I think it's not going to turn out the way the Republicans want.
Well, I think everybody needs to get out and vote.
Yeah. Well, they are. They're breaking records right now.
Good.
but also, I did get it right that I said that Boris Johnson would not be the new PM. And sure enough, he walked away. And I said a man was going to take his place, and a man has took his place.
Yeah, I think that Rishi Sunak, or however you say his name, he's supposed to be, I don't know, I've read about him. I don't know much about him, so I can't offer any comments.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's going to be in office long either.
Well, they'll probably have a big vote, and they'll take the Conservative Party out.
That's what I see coming. That's exactly what I see coming.
So do you think Trump will actually, who's being subpoenaed, will actually talk to the January 6th commission?
No.
Yeah, I never felt he would, but.
If he does, it'll be like, I'm not doing it. It's a witch hunt.
Well,
And,
also he wants to wait for the midterms too, because he wants to see what's going to happen.
and he'll take it to the Supreme Court
Of
and even
course.
have somebody like Thomas put a stay on it.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. And that like the Trump appointed judge that heard Bannon's case, he should have recused himself.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to go to jail. You get 4 months, but you don't have to go to jail because we're waiting till your appeal. That could take years. Anyway, I get my dander up.
I know it's very sickening.
So I guess the next question would be, and we've answered a million times, the midterms. What do you think?
I've been talking about what I think till the cows come home.
I know, me too.
And I'm going to do my list again. I'm going to recheck it, double check it, and post it again. And I think the Dems are going to win.
So do I. But
also, Merrick Garland's got a huge announcement at 1:30.
I know, and I'm we might have to do another show this week to talk about that. It's funny. A lot of times we do our shows, there's always breaking news. It's like
Always.
it's the Linda and Mel breaking news. I don't know. Better to break news than to break wind, I suppose.
No, it's unhealthy not to break wind.
Well, that's true. Well, unhealthy not to break news either.
Right.
All right, my dear. Libra lady. I like that Libra lady. Love you two together. Thank you. Do you see a Democrat Gretchen Whitmer winning re-election in Michigan?
Yes.
So do I, actually. All right.
I got to go with what I've been told. Yes.
Changing gears. Do you see Bannon in jail at some point? Because I do.
I do. I see him in jail.
I don't see Trump in jail.
No, I've never saw him in jail. But I want to tell you also that I had a bunch of blood work done this morning at 6:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Because they've got me down to pre-ops. So I might be having my surgery. They haven't given me the date yet.
And
but I'm sure it's going to happen in November.
What surgery?
My my implants, I had a double mass.
Right.
And my implants that they gave me, I got a letter from the person the manufacturer that it causes cancer.
So are you going to hang those outside on the
Yeah, I'll hang those outside.
with the wind chime with the other ones?
There you go, with the wind chimes.
I
You
love
remember that joke?
You got to tell that joke. Go ahead.
Okay, so the doc says to me, this is kind of based on the truth. Don't worry, Linda, because I had left-sided cancer. We'll remove the breast, the left-sided breast, and we'll fix the right-sided breast to match the left-sided. So they're not going to take off both. They're just going to take off the one and fix it so it looks like the right side. I said, wait a second. You're going to take this breast and make this breast hang over my belly like this one? I don't think so. Take them both. I always got a good laugh on that. And then I said, and by the way, they're hanging in my backyard as wind chimes, in case anybody wants to know.
Well, now you can put the implants out there with them. My feeling is you're cancer free. And my feeling is
good. Thank you.
My feeling is you'll pull through the surgery just fine.
Good.
Maybe one day post-op you might run a slight temperature, but
yeah, they offered. What happened is I went in about the implants, okay, and it was post. Well, we're still kind of worried about the virus, but I went in and I saw him, and he told me what he was going to do, and he said, if you'd like a tummy tuck, we'd be happy to do that too for an extra $6,000.
yeah.
And I said, sure, because that's a good price for a tummy tuck. And since you're already under with the anesthesia, but this was 2 years ago, I said this. Now I'm pushing 70. It's like, what's going on? Why haven't I had the implant? Oh, well, it's a volunteer thing. I said, no, it's not. I said, then skip the tummy tuck and put me down for the replacements. So they try to put me in the back of the bus and say, well, you got another year and a half to wait. I said, no. But I did get my blood. He ordered the blood work, so it must mean it's coming up.
I would just stomp my feet and say, I want this out now. I learned after going through open heart surgery, you have to advocate for yourself, because if you
Oh,
don't,
I know that.
nobody's going to do it for you.
I know.
I don't
That's
think
why
they
my
realize,
family has me come to their appointments so I can tell
thank
the
you.
doctors off.
I don't think they realize how formidable you and I can be.
One time when I was at the VA, you know, they got those young doctors, and we had this guy with an attitude.
Oh,
I said, I want to get me your attending. Oh, okay. So the attending came in. I said, hey, listen, your Doogie Howser is getting on my last nerve. This is what needs to be done. But I called him Doogie Howser. I bet he hated my guts.
I was in the emergency room once. I was having chest pain after my surgery. And so the resident comes in and he's feeling my left pulse. And I looked at him, I said, I don't have a pulse there. And he goes, that's impossible. Everybody has a pulse there. And the emergency room doctor was standing there. And I said, well, I don't. Well, that's impossible. I go, did you bother to read my chart? Well, yes, I read your chart. I said, then you would have read that I had triple bypass surgery 4 or 5 years ago, and that this artery was removed to put in my heart. So I don't have a pulse there. And he just looked like that. I go, now you can try this side if you would like.
My
And the
God.
doctor looked at him and said, always listen to your patient. They know what's going on.
He said that?
Yes.
Oh, listen, after I had my son, my 10-pound 1 ounce baby.
Jesus, I was 9 pounds 7 ounces.
Oh my God, Jake was 9 pounds 1 ounce. Jeff was 10 pounds 1 ounce. So anyway,
Yeah, a bowling ball. Right?
they did a morphine epidural, and when you do a morphine epidural, you can't have any other narcotic for 10 hours. Okay, but they were willing to put me in the unit to give me titrate some meds because I was in so much pain. But I refused because they wouldn't bring Jeff with me, and I didn't want to leave Jeff. So I suffered, and let me tell you, tick tock, I watched that clock. So like about 2 o'clock in the morning, the 10 hours had passed. I think it's actually 12 hours, sorry. The 12 hours had passed, and I buzzed that nurse. I said, I'm ready for my shot. She said, no, you can't have your shot because it's a 12-hour. I said, yeah, I know. And if you look at the chart, you'll see I'm due for my shot.
She didn't bother to look at the chart.
No, she didn't even bother. And then the doctor decided to keep me an extra day, told me when he saw me in the morning. And then she comes in and says, so we'll be discharging you tomorrow. And I said, no, my doctor said I'm staying another day. No, cesarean section. I said, look at my chart. So then I reported her. I you know me, I called the supervisor in. I said, this gal doesn't read the charts. She's over there arguing with me, blah, blah, blah. So they gave me another nurse. And that nurse came in when she closed the curtain and she said, thanks for reporting that girl. She's a pain in our, our side. She's a terrible. But this gal, the gal that I was mad at, you should have seen the way she treated the other patient. Hello, was there anything,
Yeah, because
overkill.
I was in the ER once and I was having AFib, and I called my not the cardiologist I have now. The cardiologist I have now is amazing. The old cardiologist, who, by the way, died of a heart attack. Yeah, not funny, but it's kind of
right. It's amazing.
Anyway, I said I'm in AFib because I could tell, and he said, "Well, go to the emergency room." So I did. So I was in the ER all day. Nobody came in except for the emergency room doctor, who was very nice. And I said, can I have something to drink? Or he goes, we can't, because we don't know if we're going to have to admit you. I go, well, I've been here all day. This is crazy. So finally the curtain swings back, and this one doctor who I never met came in. He goes, you were an AFib? He goes, you shouldn't even be here. The emergency room is for people who are life and death situations. This is not life and death. Why did you even bother to come here? I said, because your office told me to come here. And he says, I said, I know when I'm an AFib. He goes, that's impossible. Are you an AFib now? I said, no, I just converted. I can tell. And he looked up and he goes, yeah, you're a normal sinus rhythm. And I said, well, I keep going in and out of AFib. I've gotten a second opinion at the University of Chicago, and I really want to go for an ablation. A second opinion?
This guy had an attitude problem.
Oh yeah. My God. He kept going on. I'd ask him a question, and the tears are coming down my eyes because I was mad. And my husband is standing there, and the ER doctor, and I could just feel it.
What'd you do?
I said something to him and he said,
Did you grab the big knife?
he said, you need to pay attention. I said, you need to get the F out of here and don't you ever, ever come back again. I said, because your attitude is horrible. And if I want a second or a third opinion, I will get one. And I don't need your permission. Get him out of here.
Were you screaming?
I
Were you
was yelling.
screaming?
Oh my God, top of my voice. And then his nurse said, but you know, he didn't mean it. I said, and you can go with him. I was so mad.
And your husband said, Auntie Mel is mad.
When he left, the ER doctor went,
good.
I am so glad you did that because he does that to everybody. I go, well, he met his match.
He's real intimidating. We used to have a doctor from UC Davis that thought he was the jack of, he yelled at these poor interns. He had them sobbing. He had them shaking during surgeries. And this guy was an asshole. And he was so mad at somebody one time. He backed up and hit me. And I kind of flew across the table with all the instruments. So we had to totally redo it. But if I'd been thinking I should have DFO'd, and DFO in my hospital is called done fell out. I should have hit the table and fell on the floor and then sued him for everything he had. But I wasn't thinking that far ahead. But yeah, and a nurse locked him out one time because he was so bad.
Well, I was yelling and I wasn't being nice. I mean, every swear word I could think of was coming out of my mouth. And then
did you shock him at all?
Oh, yeah. They were like, he didn't know.
That's because you got to get a bully being very firm back to them.
And I called the hospital. I said, I want somebody from an administration right here now. And they sent a concierge. I said, I don't want a concierge. You get somebody here now.
Who'd you get?
The vice president of nursing. And I went off. And so my heart rate got so high, they admitted me. And I go, you see what this does to people? And
did you go to the, did you make a formal complaint with the American Medical?
Oh, yes, I did with Joint Commission. And I said, I shouldn't even have to pay for this, my insurance company, because of him, you're admitting me. I know you're not going to admit that. So I have a lawyer and she deals with hospitals and she called them and she got the deductible taken off and she got a lot done. She goes, because we don't want to have to sue you. So no, if
awesome, my friend.
If you're a patient, you do not have to put up with any abuse from a doctor. Everybody hear that, especially seniors. Open your mouth.
There was an ER doc one time. She was snarly looking. She always had a mean look. And I came in for some, I can't remember. And she walked in and looked at me and said, yeah. What do you, I said, yeah, your ass is out of here. I'm not talking to you with that attitude. Biatch. And everybody's like rushing because, she upset Auntie Linda.
Yes,
I put a plague on both your houses.
Could you imagine the two of us advocating for somebody?
You and I showing up with our rollers.
Oh my God. They would be like,
who the hell do you think you're talking to? Oh, hell to the no.
Well, this thing, we were going to the Catskills and you said, if anybody gives you any trouble, you let me know. I go, they got to go through Auntie Mel first.
Yeah, they got to go through Auntie. Tell them Mama Linda's on her way. And then you said, no, they have to go through Auntie Mel first.
All righty. All
Sorry,
right.
you guys. We get lost in our conversation.
Welcome to what we do.
Yeah.
All right. I think people might like some of that. All righty then. Hello, Mel and Linda. You all are awesome. Thank you. Although it's believed and predicted that Beto will win legitimately in Texas, it's been read that Abbott and Republicans will cheat and already have a plan to win.
They'll cheat. Yeah.
There'll be a court case, a recount that Beto will ultimately win to actually be the governor. What do you think?
I feel that could happen, but I see Beto winning.
I do too. He's a little bit behind in the polls, but I don't know what Abbott has got up his sleeves.
Will Beto O'Rourke win as governor of Texas? Absolutely, yes.
See, I think
will there end up being some sort of lawsuit or recount? There will be a recount.
Sterling said he didn't see him winning, right?
Yeah.
All right, well.
He could be right, it's 50-50.
Right, but I do see, if Beto doesn't win this at some point, I see him in a high-level government elected position.
Okay.
But I'll tell you who's going to be president someday. Is the guy running for Democrat of Maryland. I can't think of his name, but he is amazing. He's a Democrat, and
Okay.
he's going to be president.
You've been talking for a while.
Every time I see him, I go, that man is a future president. I said it with Obama. And it's the
And
same.
give me his name again. I need to look him up.
I can't think of it. Just Google, Democratic gubernatorial candidate for Maryland.
Maryland.
Yep. Okay. Wow. I just saw on TV, California First Lady Jennifer Newsom will be a star witness.
With Weinstein, yeah.
Yeah.
He attacked her too.
Wow. That's huge. Okay. Cherry Cat wants to know, you're looking up Beto, but Cherry Cat, I'm sorry, you're looking up the guy in Maryland, right?
I'll do it later. Go ahead.
Okay. Cherry Cat wants to know, is Melania under investigation? And if she is, will she be found guilty of a crime? I don't see investigating her at all.
No.
Right?
They have so many fires going, it's not even funny.
Right. One Jackie Hathaway asked, the only question I have is what happened to people? Well, nothing happened to many of us. Unfortunately, people like Trump brought out the xenophobia and the racism that was already underlying in a lot of people, and it almost gave them carte blanche to say it's okay.
Yeah.
The same as Hitler did in Nazi Germany.
But they're calling him the God and the sent by Jesus and all this stuff. It's horrible. And then, Democrats are, child, what. In the meantime, the ones who are getting arrested for
all that are the Republicans.
Are the Republicans.
Okay, Virginia Scratcher wants to know, is there going to be a large earthquake in the next week above 7? I don't see that.
I don't see it. Okay. If there is, it's not in the United States.
This is a good one. JB wants to know, thank you for keeping us calm. Well, thank you. Please ask your guides about the dam in Ukraine that the Russians have mined. It would be catastrophic if they blow it up. Yeah, because that water from that dam keeps the reactors cool, and it would be a nightmare.
Yeah,
I think Putin would do it.
Well, he's going to do something, because I got a hit the other day that he's getting ready to do something pretty dramatic.
I think that's it. And you know what? If he does that, then that's not going to be good, because other people are going to come in and say, wait a minute here.
Well, I saw him with two things underneath his desk, like they're planting a device to take him out. Well,
maybe what people are worried about with nuclear, because I don't see any nuclear weapons being used, but if he blows up that dam, and if they can't cool those reactors, that causes a meltdown, and that is nuclear, just like Chernobyl.
Right, exactly.
But the people of Ukraine will fight back with everything if he does that. It'll be
a million people don't have heat because of that.
Well, it's going to be a brutal winter, and I'm telling you, Putin, his troops are undernourished. They don't have enough to keep warm, and that's going to be the turning point,
right,
for Ukraine.
Right.
And I see Putin going. So, all right. Okay, does Marissa Wood, a Democrat, have any chance of defeating House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy for the California House District 23 race?
Is Kevin McCartney going to win? He's going to win.
And that's what I saw too.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I thought California was pretty blue.
It is, except in that area.
Oh.
Just like Devin Nunes was.
Well, maybe the Dems need to do some gerrymandering of their own.
I know.
Kate Hawkins, do you see any indictments in the Trump world between November 9th and end of 2022? I don't see them until after the midterms.
Do I see any what from November 9th?
Do you see any indictments in Trump world between now and November 9th?
Well, Merrick Garland's going to talk about it pretty soon. Something's coming.
Indictments, yes, I do. But a lot more coming after the midterm.
I'm almost feeling like a big indictment's coming up.
Biden's coming on.
I know, but not.
He's speaking at the DNC event.
When Merrick Garland comes up, let's put us on pause just for I'll tape it, but just for a couple of minutes, just to kind of get the gist of where he's going.
Well, we'll be done by 1 o'clock, and he doesn't come on until 1:30
Oh, okay, cool.
our time. It's
Okay.
what time is it by you?
It's 10:35,
Yeah.
10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. So
Cool.
it's 3 hours.
We'll have time.
So you're 2 hours. It's an hour more.
2 hours.
It's 3 hours for DC, for Washington, DC.
Because we're on Central, they're on Eastern.
Yeah, so they're on Eastern. So it's going to happen now.
Oh, it's
Between now and
12:30. That's right. I forgot about it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll put it on pause and see what happens.
We'll put it on pause.
Uh,
But we're already into this 36 minutes, so that's good.
all right.
A little under 36 because it took me a few minutes to get here.
All right. That's all right. Grateful Anne Murray, Kamano Island. The two of you are fabulous, darling. Thank you. Do you see Putin blowing up that strategic dam? Well, we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
It's a bad feeling. Okay. Would you please read a Patty Murray will keep her seat in Washington State? I don't know. Actually.
Well, Patty Murray keep her seat in Washington State. And it's saying yes.
Okay. Yay. And then people want to know if Charlie Crist can win in Florida. I think DeSatan is ahead.
Will Charlie Crist win in Florida? It's saying yes.
I don't know.
Will Charlie Crist win in Florida? It's saying yes.
Wow.
Maybe enough people don't like him. Maybe the Disney people got enough people to vote against him.
Let's hope. But I keep seeing him smiling, so I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I could. My pendulum could be wrong.
Okay.
Will Charlie Crist win in Florida? Yes or no?
While you're doing that, Linda, Anna wants to see if there's any stimulus checks. I do see some help coming. What does that mean, Linda?
That's he gets offered. It's like he's at. It'll be close.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll pray you're right.
I'll pray I'm right too. What were you saying? Well, we are getting them here in California, and some other states are getting them.
Right. I think
checks.
she's talking about from the feds, but anyway, I see some coming. Yes. All right. Oh, this is good. Oh, Mel Broussard. Yay. Hi, Mel. I voted in Texas today, straight Dem. Do you see a large voter turnout in red states specifically? Yes, and I see, but also a blue turnout in red states as well.
Yes.
I am hoping a lot of people who don't normally vote will do so, especially in red states. I do
Well,
see.
let me tell you, because the people don't seem to understand that them taking Roe versus Wade and telling rape victims still have to go in and still have to keep the baby. That's really the clincher there. And there's a lot of Republican women that are under the table going to vote for blue, but they can't tell their husbands.
Well, I got the thing from you that now they're going to try to put a bill in the House or something that you're not allowed to say LGBTQ in public and in schools. You know, Putin did that in Russia. This is not Russia. This is
and also they're trying to say 15 weeks. You know, I don't know what these men think that they have a right to tell women what to do.
Straight men.
It's between them and their doctor and their husbands or their families.
The government should keep their eyes out of our bedrooms,
right?
Out of women's South End.
Well, also the anybody's choice, because they're going to go up against, as Thomas said. Next thing you know, they're going to hit gays.
They are already,
and they're also trying to stop birth control. Why?
They're already picking on gays. I saw that link you sent me about their introducing a bill. You know. You cannot block people's freedom of speech. You cannot do that.
No.
Unless Clarence Thomas steps in. Oh, that man is vile. All right. I see Biden on, but I don't see anything else. He's talking about.
Listen, he took a good chunk out of our the money we owe.
And we created 10 million new jobs so far, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right. let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Crazy Shark 22. Do you see how long will President Xi remain leader of China? Well, I saw somebody was just escorted out, but I see in
That
China,
was the old leader.
yeah, but I see in China kind of like what happened in the former Soviet Union. Somebody's going to come on board, maybe not Xi, and disband the Communist Party. And
It's a couple of years away, though.
it is. It's a while off. It's not tomorrow at 2:30. Okay, Carol Cushkin. Are you sure Dems will win? News media keeps touting rising polls for
I tell everybody, get off the news media.
right. Get out and vote.
In fact, before they start talking that the Dems could lose, everybody on Twitter was saying, be careful. They're going to start saying the Dems could lose. They announced it before it happened.
Well, you know who's behind that? The Republicans and something coming out of Russia, because they want to disenfranchise voters because they want to get them to think, well, if the other party's going to win, I just won't vote.
Right.
They want
By
to.
the way, six were injured in a shooting inside the South St. Louis high school.
Oh my God, it never stops. This country is becoming so violent with people just going out shooting people. It's just not acceptable. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Will Trump ever answer for his wickedness? I see him having to answer for the stuff he's done. Not all of it, much of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Heather, can you check and see if Dr. Kermit Jones will win his seat in Congress? I'm a blue dot living in a blood red sea, and it's frustrating. Dr. Jones is a great man, and the guy running against him, Kevin Kiley, makes Eric Trump look like he is smart. That's frightening. Do you see Dr. Jones winning, Linda?
Dr. Who?
Kermit Jones. She wants to know if he'll win a seat in Congress. I think he must be a Democrat.
Okay, Dr. Hermit Jones, will he win what state?
She just said, I'm a blue dot living in a red sea area, and it's frustrating. Dr. Jones is a great man, and the guy running against him, Kevin Kiley, makes Eric Trump look like he is smart. That's what she said.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
Okay. No, I don't know who this is. Sorry.
Okay.
Is it Dr. Jones gonna win? Is it? It's saying no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yvette P., can you please ask your guides if Bibi Netanyahu will be prime minister of Israel again? He was indicted for corruption. He should be in prison, not running for a country. I see him under a lot more indictments, and I've always seen Netanyahu out of office and going to jail. So that's what I pick up. All right. It's kind of be like Boris Johnson when Boris came back and wanted to run all of a sudden and didn't. Or couldn't, actually. What do you pick up on it?
Well, Netanyahu. So the corruption thing didn't go anywhere?
He was indicted, but I never followed the outcome of it.
Yeah, he got away with it.
Or so.
But I've always seen him going down. No, the answer is no.
Okay, good. Because I see him going down.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. I got more. So, well, okay, let me see. Okay, those are a lot of questions. I'm sorry. Oh, Ann Macedo, Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to be Trump's running mate. Oh God, that's frightening.
Yeah, and he's thinking about it, by the way. And McCarthy is thinking about making her the one in charge of all the committees. Yeah, they're not going to win.
Well, because they stripped her of everything. But if she does that, she'll get stripped again. Okay, Nana Banana, I like this. Thank you, Mel and Linda. My question is, will the former guy expire before conviction? Probably 2024. I don't
I,
think
I
that-
don't know, but I see him being a nothing burger.
Me too. Absolutely. Uh, let's see. Um, hold on a minute. I'm just scrolling through here.
Okay.
Um, all right. This is a good one. Gail Langston wants to know, thank you for sharing your gifts and sense of humors. I'm wondering if any of the politicians and their groupies involved in January 6th will be found guilty of treason. I don't know about treason, but guilty of other things, absolutely.
I saw some of them having to leave.
Correct.
I saw that a while ago.
You know what just hit me with Bannon? I see the
What?
IRS. I see the IRS investigating him. And my feeling is they're going to go after him for that money that he raised and he went to jail.
And they stole and used for personal use?
Yes, and Trump pardoned him, but that's
Yeah,
income. And I
that's
think,
nothing to do.
you know what, that just hit me. The IRS is going to go after him. Wow. Okay. Jake Cat Lady.
Oh, by the way, Bannon is telling everybody on any channel that'll listen. On November 8th, we destroy the Dem Party as a national political institution and end the regime.
I'm sorry, what was he saying?
He's telling everybody we're going to, in November 8th, the Dem Party is going to be destroyed.
Wrong.
And then they can start doing the whole Fauci family investigations and payback.
What?
Delusional.
Okay. Jay Cat Lady, this is a good one. Will Israel give the weapons Ukraine needs to intercept missiles and drones that Russia is unleashing on the Ukrainian public? She said she wants to be entered into my half-hour reading. Anybody who posts a comment or a question, provided it's a positive comment, on my community board, their name is automatically enrolled for the free.
Okay.
But she wants to know if Israel will help Ukraine with weapons to intercept missiles and drones that Russia is unleashing on them.
Yes.
I feel
Yes.
against to that. Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Catherine Benson. I've read in The Guardian that some voters here in Georgia have had their eligibility questioned. Who's doing this? Well, we know who
The
that is.
Republicans.
You got it. Is this an organized effort and by whom? Absolutely, it's an organized effort.
Yeah.
To keep, it's a new Jim Crow, really.
We need to stop knee-jerk and reactive towards all this bull that's going on.
Right.
They're doing their best. They've always tried their best to make it the KKK again.
Correct. And what
So you've got to not worry about it. You've got to be as calm as possible and don't watch the news unless Merrick Garland's making an announcement. But
there you go, as we're both looking at.
yeah, don't go there. Be calm.
Then she wants to know, will it impact votes for Stacey Abrams and Reverend Warnock? Well, it can try, but I think people are going to come out in droves.
That's what I'm saying. Ants.
Absolute droves. All right. This one, I'm gonna answer it, but I'm not gonna answer it anymore because I've answered it a gazillion times.
What?
A renowned psychic said that there were gold bricks inside Ivana's casket. Is Trump hiding them? He will have money after New York's DOJ takes his money. This might be why her casket is so heavy. What do you see? I don't see anything in her casket except for her ashes. I don't think they would hide gold bullion or gold in her casket. I just don't see it. I don't see anything.
Yeah.
Now, some other people disagree with me. That's fine.
That's fine.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I know this was all for tax reasons or some reason that they put her body there.
It was for tax reasons because he wanted to make it a cemetery, because in that state, if it's a cemetery, you don't have to pay property tax on it.
Christ, figures. Figures.
All right. It wasn't because he cared about her, that's for sure.
Right. Listen, our students are really suffering from this pandemic. Their math scores, etc., are really, really suffering. And I want everybody to know, I see them going to the drawing board, sort of helping students get kind of caught up. Because the parents won't do it. A lot of parents just expect the school to take care of their kid and then they're done with it. And the other thing is, while the kids were home, a lot of people didn't have that ability to make the kids sit down and work on the schoolwork. They did what they wanted.
Correct.
They lost some years, I'm going to tell you right now, but I don't want you guys to worry because I know my son had a real hard time at school. It wasn't the pandemic, but he's a brain. And what happened is afterwards, he just, when he started going to college, he expounded. His abilities in math went through the roof.
Well, what happens is a lot of kids that are bright, they get bored.
They get bored, yeah.
You don't pay attention during the basics. You don't do this. And then, you think you can't get it. You become an underachiever.
Right.
So I see a lot of them getting caught up. But, the education begins at home, really.
Right,
You
right,
need to teach your kids, the study skills or get your homework or do this or do that.
right.
Even though it really sucked, but still,
Exactly, exactly.
you got to do what you got to do, right?
So listen, I have to leave at 11 because the babies have their beauty appointment. They haven't been clipped in, they missed their last appointments every 6 weeks, so they really need it.
So we got 9 more minutes. How's that?
Okay. Well, I need to be in the car by 11, so give me a couple of minutes.
So we'll get 5 minutes. How's that?
Okay.
All righty. Let's take a look here real quick. Okay, Joan Elliott, what are your new insights on the Prime Minister of Great Britain, Rishi Sunak? Well, I like him better than the last two.
I do too.
I just don't know how long he's going to be.
I see them mad at him. I see people saying, I see a big voting in the Labor Party takes over.
So do I. That's what I keep saying. Pat Lee said she voted today in Northwest Florida. Good for you, Pat. You go, girl. Everybody get out there and vote. Okay. Let me see. Adrian wants to know if Putin will drop a dirty bomb on Ukraine. A dirty bomb means a conventional bomb, but it's got radioactive stuff in it that kind of spreads it out.
I can't tell you for sure, no, but I can tell you he's going to do something.
And Nicola McClafferty wants to know, has Russia been sabotaging undersea cables in the North Sea? And the answer is yes, absolutely.
Yes.
All right, shall we do one more?
Yeah. I like your shirt, by the way.
Well, oh, thanks. Okay, here's another one. Nancy D. I'm still worried about the midterms. It looks like the House will overwhelmingly go to the rotten Republicans. Just watch Ted Cruz on The View. He was booed and heckled.
Oh, yes.
I didn't see that.
Don't worry. They're not. I know you guys are afraid, but try to not be afraid. Go to the higher realm. Thank them to make sure that we have a peaceful vote, and that the ones who are for mankind win, because a lot of these people aren't for mankind. Make sure the Trumplicans get out.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
But you got to be active as well. So
right, exactly.
All righty.
Okay, my friend.
Hold on.
Wait, you lied? You said one more and we did it.
Yeah. Oh, did I say one more? All right.
Do you have a good one there that you want me to?
I think I'm trying to scroll through them. I think we've looked at a bunch of them. Somebody wants to know if there's violence around polling on election days, and I don't see
any violence.
No, I don't see that.
No.
And somebody's wanting to know if the Comanche goddess is coming to Chicago in the near future, and the answer to that is we're working on it.
Whenever you're doing it, you haven't done it yet.
I will, but I'm after this, I'm just kind of getting it together. All right, my dear. Next Monday, your place.
My place.
All right, sweetie.
My place. Only I'm gonna have some cream eclairs and stuff like that. You don't have nothing.
Yum.
I'm just kidding. All right, sweetheart.
Maybe I'll have some of those chocolates that you send. Those are so good.
Oh, those are good. Timothy Adams.
Yes, thank you.
All right, honey.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Well, all right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.